When I bought my Saturn IV Ultra, I also bought this heater hoping that it would help my Saturn IV Ultra out. But instead, I had major issues with it, and the issues were banding. But the banding is where I'm getting all these really weird layer lines. And I ended up doing a ton of prints over lots of printers with different heaters, following it around on different printers and a bunch of stuff like that. I even went out and bought a little tester unit here where I could put probes on the resin, on the print, on the build plate, outside the printer, in the printer, just to kind of see what's going on with the temperature. And what I realized is that the issue that's happening is that this heater gets too hot and then too cold. And I initially thought that, well, it was affecting the resin. It wasn't. And I thought, well, maybe it was affecting the build plate and the build plate was expanding and contracting. It wasn't. What it turned out to be is that the temperature going up and down was actually affecting the print hanging off of the build plate. I did some modifications and I moved the exhaust up, and that helped. And that helped me identify that really, as the print gets up closer to the exhaust, that's where we start seeing more and more banding. So if you use smaller prints, minis or something like that one, you may never notice it. What Elegoo has done now is they've sent me this new motherboard, which they're saying should resolve the issue. Now that I know what the root cause is, it's gonna be really, really easy just to swap this in here, do a quick test where I monitor the temperatures and see if there's a significant difference. Of course, I'll know whether or not the banding goes away or not. So let's do that, get you some A/B pictures and see, does the new motherboard help this printer, this heater, actually work, or is this heater still on the absolutely do not buy list? Let's find out. So I finished my testing on this heater, and there's a couple things I've learned. One I've learned is that the replacement heater motherboard isn't any different physically. It's just a different firmware. So the big question is, does the motherboard fix the issue with the banding? And the answer is yes. Yes, it does. I tested it by printing. So now I've printed 4 more of these Z-axis calibrations, 2 with the heater, 2 without the heater, and let's look at that data. So from this data, what we can see is that the VAT chamber temperature isn't going up and down like crazy anymore. That's completely stabilized. We've also seen that the Z banding issue on these Z calibration prints is basically gone. So yes, the issue is resolved, which is great. I've reached out to Elegoo and talked to them about this before I even got involved in making this video. And what they said is if you can reach out to them with proof, they'll send you a new motherboard. That's the fix right now. And to get proof, just head over to cults3d.com, look for J3D Tech, and download these. Print one version without the heater running and one with the heater running. You'll have your data, send it to them, and they should get you out a new motherboard. Mine took a while to arrive because it is shipped from China, but when you get it, you should be good to go. Hopefully before winter's over. And something very important, if you want to know whether or not you've got the new or the old motherboard, simply turn it on, and what you'll see is 8888 followed by 000. If you don't, it's just really quick. But if you don't see that 000 really quick, then you know you've got the old motherboard. So print these Z calibration prints, get your evidence, reach out to Elegoo, and get your replacement motherboard if it doesn't show the 000. Also, if you're getting the banding issue, that's probably also a good indication that you might have the old motherboard. Now, there's another thing that I've noticed, either online or even users I've talked to directly, and that is users with the old motherboard who don't necessarily show the Z banding and others who show it worse than me. What I've noticed is that it's a direct correlation between the environment the printer's in. There has to be a temperature fluctuation. So if your printer is in a warmer environment or in a really, really cold environment where the heater can't really do much with the chamber, there's not going to be a lot of heat fluctuation, and so the banding issue isn't going to be there. All right, so let's talk about how I like this heater after I got it working properly. And as of right now, I'd probably rate this heater at maybe. It's still quite loud, as you can tell from this here recording. And that is recording with this fan removed. So there's 2 fans in here, one up top and one on the bottom. The one on the bottom, I think, is really just to push the air through the carbon air filter in here, which is too small to do anything, so I actually removed mine, and I removed this fan right here while I was replacing the motherboard. It's really easy to do. I don't see the advantage of it being in there. The airflow is definitely enough without it. The next thing is that even though I understand this is an aftermarket part that's not designed to communicate with this printer, it can't. There was things that they could have done for an aftermarket heater that could have made it work really well. One of those would be to be able to change the temperature. You cannot change the temperature on this thing. It is hard set. It's going to want to bring it up to about 26-ish. The best temperature to be is between 28 and 30 degrees Celsius for the chamber. For the resin, you want the resin to be between 26 and 28 degrees Celsius. Some things they could have done for an aftermarket heater that could have gone in any of their printers, old or new, or even in non-Elegoo printers. They could have put in a UV light sensor where you could put it in there and it would detect UV light and that would cause it to kick on. That would make it so that like Wi-Fi printing and the heater would actually work in tandem. And then, you know, after it detected that last UV, have it run for maybe an extra like 10, 20 minutes and turn off. That would have also had an auto turn off when the print was done. So you could start a print, go to bed, and not worry about the heater running all night, features which this is completely lacking. Or they could have just built a timer into it. But still, little things like that, you know, would have done a lot that would have elevated this heater a bit more, in my opinion. However, its small form factor, being able to fit into these small printers like the Saturn IV Ultra or the Mars 5 Ultra, but there are, in my opinion, better options out there like thermal vat band or even the Chichi box heater is pretty decent. But in the end, it will heat up your printer, it will heat up the vat, it won't cause banding, so it does in fact do its job. And as far as modifying it, and you know, if you wanted to put this back in, this extra fan put in, check it out, it's really easy. Just pop off the back. There's the control unit right here with a single plug. This can then just pull right out. No hardware required. You will need a screwdriver to pull out the motherboard there, but it's really, really easy. You put this guy right back in. It's a single plug. Pop the cover back on. And that's it. Very simple, very easy to do. And mounting it into this little mounting thing here that I designed. There's normally 2 screws that go in the back. They're the ones that come with it. Just pop it in there. Put the 2 screws in. That'll make it super stable. Put your hood on. Really easy, especially if it was mounted in properly. And that will vent everything away, make it slightly quieter, and you're pretty much good to go. And if you could, please like and subscribe to this video and my YouTube channel. As of right now, my YouTube channel, I haven't really put much effort into it, but I'm really trying to build it a lot more so I can do more content like this. If you haven't seen my M7 Max video, go check that out. I'm working on the review for the GK3 Ultra right now, which is taking a very long time because I'm gonna go even harder on that review than I did for the M7 Max. And with that, as always, thank you for watching and have a good day.